Alright everybody, welcome back to Songwriter's Commentary. This is episode 2. Talking about my song on Sunday, Hate Myself. This song took me a while to write. Took me about 2 weeks. The hardest part was just getting the sections in order. Originally, the verse sounded a little bit different, and I couldn't really come up with a good way to transition to the chorus, but eventually I just wrote a random riff on my guitar, and I played the chords over it, and I got what I had. So it's got the same chord, got the same chord progression, through the whole thing. Lyrics-wise, the song started, the first 2 lines, I think were the first bits of the song I actually wrote, and then at 1 a.m. in the morning that night, I wrote lines for the chorus, which were never actually included in the song. Like, they were originally, but I cut them out, I didn't like them, but that's kind of where the whole song came from. I think, talking about what it's about, it's not really a traditional breakup song, because usually you know it's about the other person and how terrible they are, but this one was more just about emotional trauma and dealing with experiences that aren't exactly the same as stuff I've done or I've gone through, but it's metaphorically similar. So let's just jump right into it. I'm on the bathroom floor with a bottle full of wine. I fucked it all up again, just like I did last time. Yeah, so like I said, those first 2 lines, I'm pretty sure were the first 2 lines in this whole song that I wrote back a couple weeks ago. And I don't know, I think they could have set the scene for the whole song. Every time I try, I hear her voice on the phone, telling me that I deserve to be alone. So those 2 lines are a lot more metaphorical. The first one about if there's any real life event that this song is based on, it was actually a series of text messages I got one day from a person who I'm not gonna name because she's doing her own thing and doesn't deserve the ending. She didn't call me. And she didn't tell me I deserved to be alone either. It's definitely something I felt from the energy. I don't know. But no, these 2 lines are a lot more metaphorical than based on real events. She broke my soul into 1,000 little chunks, and I hate myself for not having the strength to pick them up. So those 2 lines, interestingly enough, I was really struggling to write more words for this song, because, I do that sometimes, and so I wrote out, this is the first time I really tried this, I think, is I wrote out basically a little paragraph of prose, just talking about what I wanted, and the image of the shattering the soul into 1,000 pieces. All that came out of there, it's just something I wrote down, so I kind of turned it into a rhyme scheme and put it in there. When the anger left a thought, so would the pain, but the scars she left me with just won't fade away. So, if I want to say anything about that, those 2 lines are at the end of the second verse. I think it's important to put that in there because I think a lot of times people write songs about breakups or stuff like this, and it's all about blaming the other person, calling them a terrible person. And while the song is certainly about the other person being bad or not being good to you, it's really more about the way that makes you feel than anything else. So these 2 lines were originally the second parts of the song that I wrote. They were the second half of the first verse, but I changed them around for better organization. So and really getting that heart of what the song is about. I wonder if she even remembers the things that she said, and I wonder why it's so much easier to forgive than to forget. I know I should listen to ghosts from long ago, but the things she said when she was drunk still catch in my throat. Alright, let's talk about that for a minute. If I remember correctly, other than the stuff from the chorus that I deleted that I wrote on a notes app on my phone at 2 in the morning, the part of the chorus that I originally wrote with those middle two lines, I know I shouldn't listen to Ghost for long ago. And I want to keep them in. I think they're good for the song, even though they make the chorus like half, 50% longer than the other sections in the song. And then the first bit, I wonder if she even remembers. Originally this song was kind of based around the old saying I've heard a few times, you know, the tree remembers but the axe forgets. And so that's kind of where those lines came from. Originally the song itself was called The Axe Forgets, but I changed it because I didn't know why I said it in my little prose. I wanted the song to be less about the axe and more about the tree. And of course the metaphor of the tree is me. The axe is this other person. And if you don't know the whole idea of the phrase is, when an axe hits a tree, you know, the tree remembers, even if the axe forgets, because the axe hits a million trees and it's not really affecting them, and the tree is going to get cut down. I mean, it's a metaphor for the way that other people can have no idea how they affect you. Even though that person is so important to you because of how they affected you, they have no idea. Someone else, but if I was stronger, I wouldn't hate myself. So the ending part of the chorus, where the song gets its name from, was one of the last parts of the song I actually wrote. This was the last part, and the chorus was the very last part, or the bridge, sorry. The bridge was the very last part. And I think it really ties the whole song together, because when you look at it, right, I think it's really an indictment of the kind of incel, lonely male culture we got going on, where people experience emotionally traumatic events, and they externalize that hatred towards all women are terrible, or the world is out to get me. But I think there's definitely a lack of representation of people who would kind of internalize that and just assume, you know what, I'm the common denominator here, I must suck. So I want to say, both of those two things are equally invalid, but one of them is a lot more prominent in society than the other one, I feel like. I know it's me, I know I got no one else to blame for letting her trick me into feeling guilty and ashamed. All she had to do was give me the plans, and the truth is built these walls with my own two hands. Alright, so talk about the third verse. That idea that I just talked about is kind of in the first half of the verse, and I know it's me, I know I got no one else to blame. It's really trying to double down on the idea of this is about me, this isn't about another person, this is about how I feel about myself. But in the second line, letting them trick me into feeling guilty and ashamed, I'm not 100% with that line. I don't necessarily like the wording letting her trick me, but I couldn't figure out anything better, so I kind of just left it there. Because it really feels like, I don't know, the wording there feels kind of weak to me, but I couldn't figure out any better way to word it. So, I don't know. And I feel like it's definitely, about you let another person who has their own issues try to put them onto you and make you feel bad, but I couldn't really figure out a way to communicate that very, very effectively. Maybe one of these days, when I ever properly release this song, I might change that line a little bit, but I might not. It serves its purpose. I think it's good enough. And the second half, it is really you would almost say it's counterintuitive to the first because it's talking about how you know, she gave me the plans for my own demise. I think it's really that what it's trying to say is that no, it's not 100% my fault, but I'm the one that allowed it to affect me. Which, whatever. Talking about it being emotionally healthy or not, it's the truth, I think. I wonder if she even remembers things that she said, and I wonder why it's so much easier to forgive than to forget. I know I should listen, cause from long ago, but I think she said when she was drunk, still catching the throat. A weaker man might turn his hate on someone else, but if I was stronger, I wouldn't hate myself. Hate myself. I hate myself for having all these doubts. I hate myself for blaming someone else. I hate myself for knowing she was wrong, but not being man enough to carry on. Alright, so aside from the fact that there's really bad singing in that section because it's the most recent, and I hadn't really got a feel for what I wanted the melody to be there. I mean, it's really reinforcing all the things I said previously. I think the last line is interesting. Not being man enough to carry on. There's definitely some toxic masculinity stuff in there. But, you know, this kind of stuff isn't really about what's right and what's wrong morally. It's more just about how you feel. You know? There's always not always, but there can definitely often be a big divide between what you know is logical and rational and what you feel. And so, you know, you may understand fundamentally. You may know that, you know, these emotions are valid and, you know, you can't blame yourself and it's not your fault, all these things that your therapist. It doesn't change the fact that you feel pretty shitty sometimes, you know? Read into that all you like. I wonder if she even remembers the things that she said, and I wonder why it's so much easier to forgive than to forget. I know I should listen to ghosts from long ago, but the things she said when she was drunk still catching the throat. Actually, completely forgot to mention this in the line, the things she said when she was drunk. I'm pretty sure that the specific event I was talking about here, she wasn't drunk. But, you know, it goes towards the theme. Once again, it's more of a metaphorical thing. I mean, I've never gotten drunk on the bathroom floor in my life either, but it's meant to paint a picture of the emotions, not really to be a 100% accurate transcription of real life events, you know. Weaker man might turn his hate on someone else, but if I was stronger, I wouldn't. If I was stronger, I wouldn't. If I was stronger, I wouldn't hate myself. Alright, well, that's the video. Like and subscribe if you liked it, I guess, I don't know.